rookie, the 29-year-old rookie, Jake Mangum, who is on fire and has no vision of getting sent back down to AAA. He's doing exactly what we've asked or encouraged him to do. Is you have an opportunity, take it and run with it. Same thing with
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Rays, your daily podcast covering everything Tampa Bay Rays, from game analysis to player interviews. We've got you covered with all the latest news and insights. My name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano,
bringing you expert analysis and passionate discussions about our beloved Rays.
Whether you're a diehard fan who vividly remembers Longo's Game 162 just like us,
or you remember the early Devil Ray days of Wade Boggs and Carl Crawford,
we are here to break down every play, every trade, and every milestone. In fact, this is our 7th season covering the Rays daily.
And the season for 2025 has begun, so go ahead, grab your favorite Rays gear, settle in, and subscribe to our Locked On Rays YouTube channel and other podcast platforms. You can also find us on X and Instagram at Locked On Rays.
How about them Rays winning 2 series in a row? And so much to talk about, Kev, with a day game, with 2 series dubs. We went to the game on Saturday. It's been a minute since we get on top of the mics. What's the one thing that has you like, wow, these 2025 Rays, there's something about them? What's that one thing for you?
I would say pitching, and starting pitching based on the performances we've seen over, since game one to game 6. And most notable out of that group, in my opinion, was Shane Baz's start against the Pirates. 6 innings. Yes, he allowed 6 hits, but no earned runs, no walks, and 10 strikeouts. And that is something that's pretty historic. Doesn't happen very often in Rays franchise history, where a guy throws 6, gives up 0, and strikes out 10. I think it's only been done a handful of times, if my recollection is correct. So that is the gift that keeps on giving. What makes it even a little bit more sweeter is it was against his former organization that he did that feat against. So that has me really excited, but there's a lot of other storylines and a lot of other good vibes to go around with what this team is doing 6 games in. Again, we should acknowledge the Rockies aren't going to be very good. The Pirates aren't going to be very good. In fact, I would not be totally surprised if the Pirates at some point give Paul Skeens a couple Phantom IL stints near the end of the season just to shut them down for 2026. But hey, still major league teams. They still get paid too, oftentimes a lot of money, and I'm not going to complain about that at the moment.
You know, in 2023, when the Rays started winning, and they started 13-0 this season, the whole thing was like, well, they're playing against crap teams. You still have to win those games. You still have to, not lose. I think, yes, the Rockies and the Pirates are not going anywhere in 2025. You still have to go out and win those games. And they haven't won by playing badly. They've won by doing the right thing at the right time. Yes, right. I understand that some people are going to be picking at the offense, and I get it.
Well, they did score 6 runs.
They did
6 runs, 7 runs over the last couple of days. So,
they did.
And we didn't expect them to do much of anything against Paul Skeens, which is true. Nobody, you can have the best lineup in baseball. Skeens can face the Dodgers, and he's probably going to do pretty good against the Dodgers. Just saying.
Thank you. That's the thing. Yeah, Paul Skeens is a different beast. So yeah, so you lost a game where this guy is being compared to bleeping Bob Gibson. Yeah. I think you are okay with losing that game. But overall, the Rockies series and the Pirates, they've won by playing really good, solid baseball. And what you said first, and I know we're going to get into the other big storyline a little bit later on, but for this segment, the rotation has been so impressive, Kev. I mean, it's just been it's giving me that 2023 that never could rotation. And it's given me that 2012 that should have been in the playoffs and never was. Pepio, Littell, Bradley, Rasmussen, and Baz, what they have done is incredible. I think Baz, for me, was also the most I don't want to say astonishing because I know that he can do it, but it was the most pleasurable, enjoyable.
The way
watch.
that he went about his business was very aesthetically pleasing. The fact that he's dotting 99 and 100 consistently and throwing curveballs wherever he wants. I mean, he was able to spin those in the zone in areas that are unhittable or just buckling hitters with the curveball. In fact, he threw the curveball more than the fastball. So I think the mixing and matching of his entire repertoire, because it wasn't just the curveball and fastball, it was the slider and changeup. And it was pretty well mixed and well balanced with his showcase there.
And usually his pitching mix has been around 50% fastball, right? 20% each around for the curveball and for the slider, and then the changeup at 10%, rounding numbers.
Right.
So it is intriguing that he was using that curveball. Is that going to be more than the fastball? Is that going to be something to watch out for in the coming starts? Was it just something specific for the Pirates? Maybe, but I really enjoyed. I believe it was in the first inning, maybe first or second inning. I tweeted about this because it was such a fun sequence. It was to O'Neal Cruz, changeup, strike, curveball. Get out of here. Sit down, struck out. It was such a cool sequence. Just you don't see that and from a guy I know he has been in the baseball radar, in the baseball lexicon, in the baseball taste buds of us that follow baseball daily for a long, long time. He's still relatively newish to being a starter because he's been hurt for so long. So it is fun to see him. And when you were putting up those kinds of sequences and you're still kind of young as a starter, that's really cool.
Yeah. And I think we've said this previously where Shane Baz next to Shane McClanahan has the most potential and talent out of this group. It's if he can be available for a full season and put it together for a full season before going down for the count. Because if he continues to do, not saying every start is going to be that exact line, of course, but if he somewhat mirrors what he did against the Pirates, it's only a matter of time before he gets bumped up in the rotation and starts to draw a little bit more of a pedigree, in my opinion. And it's refreshing to see him because he's a guy that we've talked about. And I remember when he made his major league debut, we were so impressed about that and what could be. And that's still on the table because he is still young. It's not like he's 31 or 32. He's still only 25, 26, 27, something along those lines.
Yeah.
So there's still hopefully a lot left in the tank for this guy. And I like the example you used of him pitching backwards. It's not like he just has to rely on the fastball. Now, as far as the pitch mixing and the usage, I think that might just be on a case-by-case basis. To me, it felt like he was really riding that curveball. That for one reason or another, it felt good.
Yep.
And the Pirates couldn't figure it out. So he kept going to the well and it worked for him.
Well, that's the specific case. Look at that. You start with the changeup, and then you do 3 straight curveballs. You're feeling good about that curveball, and you get an early strikeout on 3 straight curveballs. Yeah, you're going to be using it more and more often in that start. But to your earlier point, yes, he was the best one. But Pepio, fantastic. Littell that we saw live, he did his job.
Yes.
Taj Bradley. I know that we talked about Shane Baz as a repeatable delivery, just very minimal moving parts that you could just basically copy paste his delivery for each pitch. Tosh is getting to that stage. When you saw what he was doing on the mound on Sunday, it was basically you could have picked the delivery from pitch number 1 to pitch 17 to pitch 58, and it was the same bleeping thing. It was such a great thing to watch because this is the development from being a young pitcher and then knowing how to survive in the major leagues. That's one thing that they always say. You have to have a repeatable delivery, very minimal moving parts. And Tosh is just doing very little before he goes up the leg, boom, and then throws. It's fantastic.
It really is. We have much more to discuss, but first, Ulises, we have to tell the audience something very, very important, and that is wonderful pistachios, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking for a snack that is both delicious and nutritious, well, go ahead, crack into a good source of protein with wonderful pistachios. Wonderful pistachios, it is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. So, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. All right, Ulises, besides the pitching, and just one more note on the pitching, I would imagine this will probably be a theme going forward, at least for the first couple weeks or months of the season, or maybe the entire year, where 6 innings pitched is your max, and then we're going straight to the bullpen, unless somebody is really, really feeling it. But I think they just kind of want to get guys settled in and then utilize the bullpen from there. And what's good is we are pretty confident in the bullpen to take care of business from innings 7, 8, and 9, whereas some other teams may not be as confident in their bullpen to get the job done, to get the last 9 outs or 10 or 11 outs or whatever it may be.
It's after 6 starts and Pepe given twice. Only 2 pitchers have gone 5 innings. Rasmussen on his first one, Pepe on his second one. So I'm really happy to see that most of the starts are 6 innings. Yep. But you can only get that if you're efficient with your pitch count and you don't get in trouble by giving out free passes, which the Rays have been fantastic at avoiding that free pass, that walk. I mean, from game 1, there wasn't another walk until today against Skeens, and Pepe did 3. Like, that's incredible, man. So yeah, keep that up so that we can see the starters going a little bit further. Look, it's all fine. We have a lockdown bullpen, and they're all fun to watch, 100%. But that's the crux of it all. And as Rays fans, we should know this. If you start using your bullpen a lot, April, May, June, they're going to be tired in July, August, September, October.
Yes.
We know this. Rays fans literally knows this better than a lot of other fan bases. And your guy that was amazing and had a 41 K and 2 strikeout to walk ratio, his arm might fall off.
Yes.
So, yes, awesome to see the bullpen, but hopefully the starters can, as the season goes on, can give that bullpen a little bit of a break and go a little bit farther and farther.
Yes. Now, pitching wasn't the only notable thing from the Pirates series. It was also the offense at various points, and namely the rookie, the 29-year-old rookie, Jake Mangum, who is on fire and has no vision of getting sent back down to AAA. He's doing exactly what we've asked or encouraged him to do. Is you have an opportunity, take it and run with it. Same thing with Cameron Meisner. I know Meisner has not been in the spotlight quite as much as Jake Mangum, just based on the fact that I don't think Cameron Meisner's gone 4 for 4 and had multiple steals in a game and made quite a bit of history. But it is really cool to see Mangum out there and taking advantage. And what I like about him, if you see that meme up there on the YouTube channel, thank you for changing my life, I'm literally just Jake Mangum. There we go. And I guess you have to be this way if you wait 29 years to make your major league debut, and there's really not much anything else you could accomplish at the AAA or minor league level, is just the persistence and the grinded out nature. He seems like and this is a friendly term, a dirtbag type of player where he will do whatever he has to do to stay on the field and do whatever he has to do to win a game. Are you going to see flashy home runs from him? No, but you'll see a guy that will grind it out and try to get on base, try to steal a base, try to make a catch. He'll give full effort where it is warranted. He's basically, I would say, the antithesis of Jose Siri. Like, I don't see Jake Mangum as being a big chrome guy, but giving you effort and not taking a play or day off. When his name is called, he's going to be out there, no complaints, and he'll accept whatever role is given his way.
100%. And there are two players that I have been thinking, man, and I know they're lofty comparisons, so please stay with me, people. Like, let's ground it. I don't in the comments blow up at me, okay? Just get in this context, okay? First of all, this dude's hands and forearms scream, plus the attitude, scream Joey Wendle.
Oh, yeah. Just different positions.
Just different position. But look at the forearms and the hands and how they grab the bat. Dude, it's like Joey Wendle flashbacks in a good way. Like, yes, give me that. And the attitude, same thing. That's the one player. The other player, and again, this is way loftier, okay, than Joey Wendle. So again, stay with me. There was an inside-out swing when he was batting lefty, and he poked that ball down the left field line. And he just kept those hands in and back. Just used that bat with such control. Like, he was literally saying, I'm going to put it right in that puppy. And he did just that. Ichiro.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I said it. I have to. I know. Big lofty name. But if you look at that replay and you don't see Ichiro, you are, number one, denying yourself, and number two, maybe you are Gen Z and you did not see Ichiro play.
Possible.
I'm telling you guys, look at that replay. Him batting lefty down the left field line. Suzuki vibes, bro.
All right. Let's mull on that for a moment. But first, but first, we've got to tell the audience something very important, correct?
Yes, we do, Kevin. So let's do that right now. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, entertainment, it's easy to lose track. And that's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. It takes less than 5 minutes to get started, and it's a complete look at your financial well-being. It manages your money. You can start building wealth. It's fantastic. It gives you everything. It's not just a budgeting app. And today, you can get started and take control of your finances with Monarch Money using code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's right. Using code LOCKEDONMLB gets you 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com. Again, monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year.
Now, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, but Jake Mangum is and will never be Ichiro Suzuki. Yes. And he is and probably will never be Joey Wendle. Although Joey Wendle was a late bloomer similarly, and there has been a history of guys that don't get called up till 28, 29 and have success for a handful of years. Maybe Jake Mangum is that guy. He's definitely not going to keep up the hot streak that he's at presently. He's going to come back to earth, as is Cameron Meisner, as are so many other guys. And hopefully there's a balancing act, a teeter-tottering effect where as they come down, maybe Curtis Mead, for example, heats up a little bit more. But I just wonder, like, when the when the shine is going to wear off on Jake Mangum, because at some point, pitchers, scouting staffs will adjust to his game and try to trip him up a little bit. I will say this. He's a guy that should have good bat to ball and hit for average. Part of his scouting report and part of the issue with him is the fact that he really has no pop whatsoever, which you can deal with if you have other abilities. But he also, it's kind of a catch-22 because he has such an ability to hit any and all types of pitches all around the zone. He almost gets too aggressive because he's so confident that he can make contact with something and he either swings and misses or it, becomes a lousy out or something like that. But we should be on the Jake Mangum enjoyable train right now because it is a very, very fun storyline. But
it's so fun.
Yeah.
And what you said, yes, obviously he's not going to be Ichiro, but again, I really do insist on people, just if you have 37 bleeping seconds of your life today, go take a look at that hit. And you're like, well, you're going to see the similarities. That's it. That's all I mean, people. But you're saying he's got good bat to ball skills, which is true, a batting champion in AAA. You also said he doesn't have pop, which is 100% true. I will say, though, do I care personally if a guy gets a hit or if a guy gets a double? Yeah, obviously I'd like a guy that wants more doubles. Right. But if a guy gets a hit and then steals second and is on second, do I really care?
Yeah.
Depending on the context, maybe an RBI was missed, but if not, now you have two runners in scoring position. So I understand the pop might be a detriment or the lack of pop, actually, but the way that he runs the bases, the way that he can steal a bag. I mean, he already has 3 stolen bags. Like this guy, he has been on fire. Look, you're saying how long is this thing going to last? How long the Jake Mangum bubble when it'll burst? We don't know.
Right.
We just hope that you got to write the hot hand. And like you said, Curtis Mead right now 0 for 10, not great to start the season, especially a guy that was like scorching hot during spring training.
Right.
You just got to hope that when somebody comes up and somebody's down, well, the reverse is true. And when Curtis Mead might hopefully gets to start getting hot, well, maybe Jake and Meisner will come down. That's what you want, that balance in the lineup.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that's cool is if you have a chance, just read into Jake Mangum's story a little bit and what he did at Mississippi State and his journey to the professional baseball ranks. But he does seem like a glue guy if he's able to stick around, that he can be a unifier on the clubhouse, which is desperately needed. Hey, it might have played a little bit of a role in the Rays deciding to keep him on the 40-man or prevent him from being a Rule 5 pick by another team just based on some of those intangibles that he brings to the table. And honestly, it could just wind up being a battle because you assume that Josh Lowe is going to be back at some point, and then you have Ha-Seong Kim to contend with, and then the fact that Palacios, Caballero playing in the outfield, Chandler Simpson on the come up. It might be a case of Jake Mangum and Cameron Meisner going toe-to-toe for a roster spot. Like, it might be a tryout for who wins that out of these two players, and maybe we throw in another player in the mix, but that's just kind of how I see it, because assuming guys are healthy and you have higher profile prospects on the floor, that I find it a little challenging to believe that you'd be able to keep Meisner and Mangum on the same 26-man roster. I mean, maybe when the playoffs start, you can.
Yeah, not if Josh Lowe and Richie Palacios are back 100%. So yeah, maybe this is a kind of that time of, hey, one of you can stay.
Yeah.
Depending on injuries, who's it going to be?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there we go. Put it in the comments what you think of Jake Mangum so far and the other Rays. And I do like the fact that the Rays rewarded Jake Mangum by having him bat third in the lineup on Wednesday's game. I guess hey, maybe we shouldn't complain that much about Taylor Walls batting higher in the order because they are. I mean,
I just want the question to be asked.
Yeah. But it's a cool because I don't know if even Jake Mangum, you can be a confident ball player as ever, but the fact that he just got called up and within a couple games, you're basically slotted in the space reserved for the best hitter in the lineup. Traditionally,
middle of the order.
Yeah, middle of the order.
Yeah,
here you go, guy who hit 6 home runs or 7 home runs in AAA last year
against Paul Skeens. Against Paul Skeens, and guess what? You know what? Let me get a hit. Gets a hit. I mean, right now, write this out. Before we go, I want to say great job, and I know that we're going to have a special guest for Friday's episode, and you guys should be really excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever it was. And maybe we'll find out about this on Friday. To do the orange glow on the top of the roof behind home plate.
Yeah.
After a W, just like they did at the Trop to put the orange roof.
Yeah.
What? When you get old, and this is a little bit of a 30-second rant here. When you get old, you start to appreciate the little things. The little things that just make you go, that's nice. Oh, that's such a good one. That, when I saw that on the TV, that made me smile. That made me happy. I appreciate whoever idea that was and whoever was able to execute it to perfection. It'd be cool to have it all over. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. It was a cool thing. Very nicely done. Thank you.
Yeah. Nice touch. Another classic Ulises rant. Those have become worldwide famous now. And actually, I've got kind of a trademark for you. So your last name starts with an S.
Uh-huh.
There is a famous gentleman, 18th president of the United States, Ulysses S. Grant, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how about we brand your rants as Ulysses S. Rants or Ulysses S. Rant? I think that's what we got to do.
I like that a lot.
Rant. Just take the G off Grant and we got it trademarked. So
perfect. TM, baby.
Yeah. And in addition to the orange glow, which we'll have to inquire to our special guest on Friday's episode, but the fireworks after a home run.
Yes.
You will not see that at the Trop anytime soon or ever. So it's cool to incorporate some outdoor baseball elements and fun to the atmosphere, if you will. So just
also last thing. I know we keep saying that. Last thing. If you have questions about, the new digs, how it came about,
yes,
what kind of things you're interested about, how they were able to execute such a move, drop it down in the comments. Drop it down in the comments. You still have time for that to be in an episode. That's it.
Yes. Drop it down in the comments, and we are likely to ask that to our special guest. We will not reveal his or her name at the moment, but let's just say that if you went to the game, that person had their hands in Steinbrenner Field being renovated. I should say no more on that note. In the meantime, hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will talk to you later.